What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to another WheatThins FC video. I was trying to think of like a theme off of everything that happened this last weekend because there was just so many near misses, let's call them, with all my lineups. And the theme of the video is just going to be a quick unpack of all of those near misses, and then we got to figure out all of our lineups for the midweek. We got 12 hours to get all that sorted. So, without further ado, we're going to hop right into it and we're going to take a look at our results from this weekend and see where we finished. All right. I don't know if you guys are using this left-hand side thing that So Rare just put out there, but it is fairly nice to kind of just get a big summary of what you've done over the weekend and kind of how you finished. I have been using for a long time just Sorare data, and I love how quickly it just throws all your lineups up at the top, the points, the rankings, and then at the bottom it just tells you if you got a card or not. And even up here, it'll tell you how many boxes you got. Obviously, not which boxes, but I like that Sorare sort of stole that back. I think that's kind of funny, and just took a page out of their book and designed one for themselves. So you'll see at the top 4 boxes, 1 card, 3 limited boxes, a 2, a 3, and a 4, and then 1 rare box. And then we got a tier 3 card, which I'll show you here. If you scroll, is going to be from our under 23 lineup. So we're going to get an under 23 limited card, which, you know, looking at it, will never hurt because just longevity on the platform obviously is a big deal. So whoever that player is, maybe they turn out to be absolutely insane, and we can build something from that. So this doesn't really tell me enough, and I kind of want to go through each lineup, just sort of like I said, unpack it, and with you guys tell you where things went well, where things didn't go so well, and gather all that. And to be honest, the best way to do that is going to be on the Sorare Data website. So we're going to use Sorare Data to do all that, and right away we're going to hit with our best lineup, which is our under 23 classic. We're in Div 2. We got relegated, I think, like 2 weeks ago. But, the best part about what you're seeing here is we get a clean sheet from Atsubolu. Paco does okay, 55 points. Just not good enough considering they had a clean sheet. I shouldn't say not good enough. He's been really, really good for me, other than the fact that this might be his worst scoring week in a very long time. And to show you what that looks like, take a look at these recent scores. The last, I mean, he had a 44 in there, but his last 3 scores, 97, 75, 82. And I put him in that U23 lineup thinking, oh, at home against Lens, he's going to do great. And he really does do great. I mean, 20 AA, obviously 10 of that is for the clean sheet, I think, but, not too bad. And then I captained the wrong guy. Florian Wirtz, they get held scoreless. Friday games are always, in my opinion, so hard to figure out from a lineup perspective. Like, what lineup are they going to put out? It could be the highest scoring game or it could be zeros, just like this one is. But we captained Florian Wirtz because going into the weekend, he had that AAA scoring predicted from the Sora data. And he, honestly, I watched the game. He didn't play that badly. They just couldn't find the final product. And that just is what it is. This is fantastic. Anthony Gordon against Arsenal. I didn't know how this was going to go for Newcastle, but he picks up an assist in a 1-0 win. Fantastic from Anthony Gordon. He's still one of my favorite cards. Benjamin Seshko gets a goal in a 2-1 loss against Dortmund. So if you look at these two players individually compared to how their teams did on the weekend, we actually, I would say, overperformed, which is kind of funny there. But we get a tier 3, we finish 74th, and I mean, we're 5 points from dropping lower, and we're 6 points from going higher. So if we captain, I mean, even just a different player, if we captain Gordon, we do a little bit better, I think, by maybe a couple points, and we're up into a tier 2. But it's hard to be upset, small margins. I don't think I would have ever captained Gordon, probably was going to be either Paco or Florian Wirtz, but either way, we're going to get a card, which is great. Full Liverpool stack. Now this is where we're going to kind of take a look, and I hedged my bets here a little bit, but we played McAllister and he didn't do so great. Obviously, we captain Trent. He puts up an 85. Even Van Dijk gets an assist in this game, and a truly fantastic performance. Let's just take a look real quick. So funny because we actually end up with the worst of my Liverpool cards of the midfielders. So I have a McAllister, a Soboslai, and an Endo. And Endo only plays 13 minutes of the game and still scores higher than McAllister. So super funny. And I also had a Mo Salah, and we put him in a different lineup. You'll see it here in a second. But we got the defender stack, which I think was right. I mean, I don't think I'd ever put Tsimikas in over Van Dyke and Trent. So that's just one of those where if you're going to take a chance, maybe you would do that. But I didn't. We'll come back to this lineup because I want to look at the Brighton stack that I have on my side. But we'll do that a little bit later. Quickly, right into rare Premier League full stack. Uh, I highlighted this on leading up to the weekend too. I loved this full stack because this is such a boomer bust game for me, in my opinion, where I didn't have a goalkeeper that I was so high on for in season that it was worth taking up the in season goalkeeper spot. With either the only other two options would have been Bart Verbruggen for Brighton away to Liverpool. We just saw their score; they lost 2-1. Or it would have been Ederson away to Bournemouth, and they lose as well. So this was always going to be the plan, was a full stack. We get a little bit unlucky. James Madison doesn't start. I know it shows that he scored a goal here, but he scored a flat 60. This is fantastic. This Dom Solanke Heung-min Son, this is fantastic. I mean, we get four decisives here that really carry the whole lineup. I just have to look at this and laugh a little bit because Pedro Porro scores the worst out of all the defenders, which is just hilarious. Like I said, so funny to me. He usually would be the highest. It's him or Romero. Obviously, Romero gets the highest, and sadly is hurt now. I think heading into the midweek when they're away, but and Vicario giving up a goal. I mean, they really took over in that second half, and so Vicario didn't end up getting many saves or kind of helping out his performance. If we take a quick look, a couple good high claims, a punch, possession numbers. Obviously, he's never going to have any attack numbers, and he doesn't get the clean sheet because Spurs love to concede goals. So it just kind of is what it is in this moment. But we picked the right two here as far as Heung-min Son on his return gets a great assist to the back post for Brennan Johnson. We did play Brennan in an under 23 lineup that I'll show you. And then we paired Sonny with Dom, and Big Dom Solanke gets two goals for us, which is just phenomenal. So obviously, like we talked about, James Madison comes off the bench, and we do pretty well here. 59th. I mean, truly not too bad. We're 28 points away from a reward. We're 80 points away from top, which if we talk about that 370, we're talking about only a high score of 450. That's kind of low for the Prem. There were a lot of weird results this weekend, I feel like. I want to talk about my near misses, but I just feel like results for the Prem were just a little bit off. I mean, some of the matchups, Liverpool don't keep a clean sheet, so they don't get all those high scores. You know, Chelsea and Man United draw 1-1. Here's what we're looking at now. Even like Pickford, who normally you probably would throw Pickford pretty high up on your ratings just for how he scores on this platform. They lose 1-0 to Southampton, which you would think they would they would smash, but they don't. And really quickly, we'll just kind of get into this lineup right here. But Pickford obviously loses. Reece James played okay. I think he was the second best defender maybe on his team. Yeah, second best behind Fofana. And they had an okay game. Obviously, Robert Sanchez gives up the penalty. I don't know what happened between Madueke and Gusto, but he came off at the half. It looks like I didn't watch this game to be fully honest. And then Cucurella came in. He did okay. Yeah, I mean, just some odd results around the weekend for the Prem, and I don't always do a great job when it comes to picking those games. So I'm happy I put the full stack on Spurs. You can see here we did the same thing. We put Sonny as the captain. He gets an assist. Kulusevski gets another assist, and then Matters with the goal, which not too bad honestly. We're 3.75 points away from whatever this was. Maybe it's a box, and just off on a couple others. And like I said, if we get a clean sheet or maybe a clean sheet here, we get that. So not too terrible. Here we're looking at another chance. This is so funny to me. I came across this as I was getting ready to hit record on this video. Atletico Madrid win 2-0. And you would assume just like, oh, they won 2-0. The whole team smashed. Rodrigo de Paul did okay. He got a 75 with an assist. Oblak gets a clean sheet. You would assume like all the defenders probably did fantastic, right? They did okay, except for my guy, which is hilarious. But 24 points somehow. And I will show this to you because he gets -4 points here, or he gets plus 4 points here, and plus 10 for the clean sheet, but -6 for the fouls. We'll go to attack. 5 points. You're like, okay, how does he have a -11 AA? Oh, oh, that's how. This is I've never seen this before. I don't know if there are players that are just a curse on this platform, but I might never play Javier Galan again. He lost possession 16 times as a left back. He lost 12 duels. Insane. He won 5, but he lost 12. And put out 6 missed passes. Now, he had some decent numbers otherwise. He had 25 accurate passes. Those might have just been back to his own goalkeeper. I don't even know. Accurate final third passes, he obviously had 7, but just so funny. And then nothing when it comes to defense. We're talking about a left back who can't contribute defensively, apparently, which is just hilarious. No blocks, no blocked crosses, no tackles. Just so funny. And you look across the line at his teammates on the defense side, and you're like, oh, okay, what did you do? Because clearly it's so I saw that and I just had to laugh. But so we missed pretty badly on that one. And when you look over here and you see that you're 6 points away from a box, it just there's not a lot to say. There's not a lot to say. But decent lineup. I think we just stayed in the division with that one. Similar here. This is an okay lineup. I mean, Ederson was, in my opinion, I watched this game versus Bournemouth. He might have been City's best player for most of that game. They really struggled, and Bournemouth exposed some gaps, and that was surprising to see. I didn't expect Kyle Walker to play. I don't know what you would make of his performance, to be fair. Akanji and Nathan Ake, I don't even know how they're doing right now. Um, like we have a number of these cards, but Rico Lewis comes off the bench. I didn't expect Doku to play at all. I didn't expect Kyle. I mean, just a weird game for City, but Ederson gets a 68 points, which is decent. Obviously, we've got him, I think, pretty close to maxed out, if not already at level 20. And then we captain the right guy. We captain the only decisive in the lineup, and we get Mo Salah, so he gets up to 120 points. We've already gone over the Liverpool Brighton game. This was funny to me. I didn't think Bukayo Saka would have a terrible game, but I expected more from Arsenal as a team. And I don't know if that's just because Newcastle's such a tough place to play away. It's what everyone says about them in the Premier League, but he did okay. 48 points, not bad. But look at the rest of the team. Like that's crazy. They did not do well. So very surprising. Like I said, uh, obviously a lot of weird results this weekend, but it is what it is. Here we did okay. I can't really say a whole lot about this game or this lineup. We missed on Fermin Lopez here. Fermin did not start, and of course the player that started in his place, Daniel Olmo, had 2 goals. So when we take a look at this lineup, Balde, I was actually expecting a clean sheet. Balde ends up contributing with an assist, which just as good. No complaints. No complaints. I knew Bart was going to do exactly what happened here, which is he was a stud, made a lot of saves, and was a great goalkeeper, but he was never keeping a clean sheet. That was kind of, a pipe dream, if you will. But he does great. He actually scores pretty well. I mean, in terms of goalkeeping, 33 points of goalkeeping is insane to me. Minus 2 points in attack, and then nothing, obviously, because he doesn't keep the clean sheet for general. But I think he did pretty good overall. So I'm very happy with that performance out of Bart. Brennan Johnson, we covered the Spurs game already, but, he scores a goal on the back post, and I think he actually overall had a pretty good game. So pretty happy with Brennan. We end up captaining the wrong guy. I really thought the Sunday night game for Atletico Bilbao versus Real Betis, I thought Nico Williams would do better. I'm still trying to get familiar with him as a player. He doesn't look like he scores a lot when it comes to AA, and that just might be me bad scouting. If he's not getting decisives, he's not scoring well. That could just be it. But we captained the wrong player there, and that's on me. But we don't do too bad. We're obviously, like I said, again, 8 points off, and we keep talking about this near misses, but 8 points, 6 points, 5 points, 4 points here, there, everywhere. And then we get to the real killer. My top lineup in Champ Classic here gets a DMP. And I don't even know. I haven't even done the research on this one, but this killed me. I don't even know why they sat Donnarumma. Maybe he got sick or they didn't say anything about him being injured because you'll see in the lineup builders for this upcoming week he's projected to start. So maybe they just sat him, but Lens are fifth in League One in the French league. Why would you sit, even though you're first place versus fifth place, why would you sit your starting goalkeeper? It's bold choice. Bold choice. I respect it. They won the game. But we're missing out on points, obviously, and we're 19 points off here. And we actually did okay. I mean, Nuno Menj gets 83.6 points. He had 48 points of AA. That's fantastic. He gets 10 points for the clean sheet, 4 double, some defensive points. Look at those possession numbers. And then nothing in attack, actually, which is surprising. Usually he's very much on the front foot with PSG, especially in Ligue 1. Facundo Bonanotte, I really loved this card. I watched bits and pieces of this game as well. Man, can he can dribble in tight space, and it's so much fun to watch. I hope that he continues to have some success this season. He's been fun to watch. Gundogan, we covered this game for City. He gets an assist on the Gvardiol goal, and obviously Gvardiol is the best player in the world right now. If you go off of So Rare, probably in terms of scoring, he's been just insane. As a defender, I don't even know how to classify a left back scoring as many goals as he has this season, but he is so. And then Usman Dembele gets a goal right off the start of this game from Bradley Barcola. Great quick attack. We captained the right guy. I mean, I guess technically we captained the wrong guy because we could have captained Gundo or Nuno Menj, but he gets a decisive, and you would expect him to do well. So, and he did do well. So, not too terrible. But when we talk about the game, we're missing out on potentially. I mean, I don't know how you guys would qualify the numbers on missing the points, but we're missing out on 64 points potentially of pieces here. It doesn't put us in a card, so you can't really be that upset about it. And it's not like we're getting relegated with this lineup anyway. But we'd have been somewhere around this 117 mark. So not too bad, but again, just a funny thing of near misses, near misses. So just quickly into La Liga here. We want to talk about this because again, we talk about near misses. Now this lineup did not do that well for me this weekend because Lewandowski didn't really do anything. He gets 38 points, but he doesn't get a decisive. He doesn't contribute to the 3 goals that they have. Lamine Yamal, again, we captain the right player. He gets a decisive. That assist for the goal to Danny Olmo. Um, those outside the foot passes he makes, those are awesome to watch. Those are awesome to watch. So the kid is still crushing it in this lineup. And of course, Jules Koundé didn't start. So we had Balde. You saw him in the under 23 lineup. I don't have either of the center backs. We don't have a Hector Fort card. Or I do have a Hector Fort card, sorry. But I didn't think he was going to play. That was not in the cards for me. And regardless, that Hector Fort card, he didn't do well. He didn't do well. 78 minutes he played. He got barely above his starting score. Jules Koundé came in for 12 minutes and got a better score than he did. So just, another near miss, and we'll chalk it up and move on. We're not getting relegated. We're back next weekend. We're going to put another great lineup together. I don't know what it's going to look like, but we're going to try. Same thing here. I want to kind of speed this up a little bit, but we've talked about City. There was Rico Lewis came off the bench. Mateusz Nunes did not keep up the same performances he's been having the last couple weeks. That's okay. Dwight McNeil here. We kind of covered that Everton just didn't show up against Southampton in the way I expected them to, and that's all right. We covered the Athletic Bilbao game. Not a bad performance from Galarreta. Denny Vivian does okay, and Aguirre Zabala does pretty well. 47 points. Considering he didn't keep a clean sheet, that's fine. We captained the wrong player, obviously here. You know, we Zubimendi gets an assist and goes down in the box on a pen. They win 2-0, so he has a great day. And Julian Alvarez comes off in the 65th minute and didn't do very much to be transparent. And his replacement Sorloth, who I said hadn't been doing well in the last video, he comes in and scores a goal. So that's just kind of how it is. And we sort of see that theme throughout. Morata doesn't do anything really in the 1-0 win against Monza for Milan. Yves Bissouma didn't start. Bentancur started. I could have played Bentancur instead in this lineup. We captained the right guy, but we're talking about, didn't start, didn't do much, comes off with an injury. None of these guys keep a clean sheet. Doesn't even play here for Emerson Royale. You know, Bayern win 3-0 and João Palhinha barely has any points. That's pretty bad. Henriks and Gulaxi got pretty much killed. And obviously this lineup, I don't even know what I was thinking. I don't know why I started Diaz and Stones considering Akanji and Ake played, but before with So Red Data's lineup predictor, both of these players were predicted to start. So we would have had at least 4 players starting. Romeo Lavia does okay. Gakpo continues his great performance, and we do captain the right player, just a terrible lineup overall. So kind of funny. But quick recap, if we go back here, it doesn't really matter, right? Like we get 2 promotions, but we're only getting relegated in one spot, and that one spot is right here because we got 3 DMPs for Man City. And that's on me. And this is a Div 3 lineup anyway. So I'm not really that fussed. We'll work to get it back up a little bit higher, hopefully, for the next weeks or coming weeks, especially going into December with all those midweeks. But this is on me, and I don't know how you get past the fact that both Stones and DS were expected to play and don't play. They didn't even make the bench, so kind of crazy. And like I said, we get a couple promotions. We get another promotion into Div 1 for limited for Prem, so we're going to have 2 lineups there next weekend. And then where's our other promotion? Back to Div 1 for our under 23s, which is fantastic considering we captained the wrong guy, but we did pretty well overall, and that's where we're getting our card too. So let's get into the lineup builder section and we'll get going. So if we take a look, I've built some teams up already here. Just the 2 that I really want to cover. This is where I think we need to talk about whether or not these teams are going to go off of the current So Rare data predictions or what I believe will be put out there. And so we're going to go off what I believe is going to get put out there because I think that's probably more accurate. And I just personally I believe in it a little bit more. So what you'll see here is 2 teams, one with Jorgensen, Malo Gusto, and Nkunku. That's going to be our Chelsea stack. Gusto should definitely play. Despite him having a bad performance, I fully expect him to play in the Conference League. I'd be pretty surprised if he doesn't. We expect Zubimendi to play. I don't know how you say this team's name, but we expect him to play. And Nkunku should definitely play as well. There's no reason for him not to. He didn't feature in the starting lineup for Chelsea away to Man United at the weekend, so we expect him to play. And then similar here, we could go full stack, and I think we will go full stack here for this lineup. I'm actually surprised we haven't gone full stack on this lineup. That might be a mistake on my part, but this shouldn't be Julian Aguirre Zabala. This should be Vicario. Ah, now I see why. It's because Fraser Forster is selected to play. I don't think that's going to happen. I think this is an important game for Spurs, and you'll see that by the lineup I've picked for them. We've got Pedro Porro, Papsar, Dom Solanke, and Heung-min Son. I think they're going to go all out and try and win this game. I think it's important to Ange Postecoglou and them that they go to Galatasaray and they put up a good performance. So especially having both their center backs, their starting center backs potentially out in Van de Ven and Romero, I think that Ange will go with a big lineup throughout the rest of it. So we'll have to take a look and see what that looks like. But that's what I'd expect. And then let's take a look at our other lineups that we've built. All right. Now let's take a quick look. I actually want to show you guys my under 23 lineup here. We've gone with a big mix and match. I love these midweeks with Champions League and Europe going on just because the players you get to choose from in under 23 are a lot smaller in the field, and so I just love the opportunity here. But look at some of these matchups we've got really quick. Uh, Aguirre Zabala and Nico Williams away to who knows? I don't know. I don't know the name of that team. Doesn't really matter. They're gonna do pretty well, hopefully, when it comes to this. So those two are in for Athletic Bilbao. Rico Lewis gets a triple A rating. We're really hoping for big rebound from Man City this week in the Champions League. And then Pedri and Yamal. This could be a big miss by me if they don't play, because they very well could not play. And that'd be very heartbreaking. But that's what we're going with. And I think this is a pretty good lineup. Obviously, we're going to captain Yamal. I mean, look at that. That SO5 for his L15 is fantastic. So, um, 71, fantastic. And then quickly, let's jump into these other three lineups here. I had to build them really quickly. I just want to again jump over them with you because this is where my head's at with all of them. We're doing a bit of a mix and match here, so you'll see we've spread out some of our Man City. So Ederson, Diaz, and Mateusz Nunes are over here stacked with a midfielder in Kang In Lee and Ousmane Dembele. Obviously, we're going to captain Dembele. He's got the home matchup, and out of the entire group, he has the best predictor, at least for the A, for the pick score. So we're going to jump here real quick. Donnarumma, we're hoping he's back in goal. There's nothing that I found. I have done the research. I can't find if he's hurt or not. So if he is, get in the comments. Tell me I'm wrong. Donnarumma's going in goal. Nuno Mendes going in. And then Phil Foden, again, like we talked about, we're separating out the Man City stack a little bit. Gundogan and then Lewandowski. If Hansi Flick and Barcelona rotate the squad, there's not a lot I can do here. And that's going to be very frustrating, but we'll just have to see. And then similar here, we've got Inaki Peña and Jules Koundé and Alejandro Balde. So those three for Barcelona combined with Camavinga and Julian Alvarez. So those are all my lineups for the week. Obviously, let me know how you guys did this last weekend, and then good luck this week. Let's see how we do. Thanks for watching.